Hello and welcome to another Trinity Teachings, lesson 2.3, Wands. Okay, this video is on, well, wands. First off, wands are not a necessity, I might add, but it is nice to have one. Depending on the type of wood you make it out of, it can have different uses. Honestly, I can't tell you what mine are made out of, because, well, we're not made out of wood anyway. I can't tell you because I don't know. It's some common tree I found. They can also be made out of metal and stuff like store-bought ones. You can buy crystal, made of copper's a good one. Usually pointed with crystals and stuff is what most of them are. Let's see. Wands. First off, picking a wand to make a wand. See, originally I read about you must find a stick on the ground. A dead limb that's fallen off of a tree or a driftwood or something like that. Find something like that and use it. However, if you want to take something from a tree, you just can't rip it off a tree because that's a no-no. The way you're supposed to do this is you basically make friends with a tree. You can ask a tree and you have to just feel and see if it says yes or no. And there's also another way. If there's a tree in particular that you want it off of, you must, well, be nice to the tree basically. Water the tree, visit the tree daily, take care of said tree until you feel that the time is right to harvest the branch, or how much ever you're going to use. Most people, see, you can take the bark off of it if you want, or you can leave it on. It's really up to you. I like to take the bark off. In fact, this one's unfinished. This one's just shaved. It still needs a bit more shaving. I was teaching somebody, but she decided to abandon, so this is what she abandoned. So I'm going to actually finish it and make another wand of myself. It needs to be a little shortened. I mean, some people like it when it reaches from this long, from about your wrist to your shoulder to your wrist or so. I mean, it doesn't have to be as long. I mean, mine's shorter than that, which I will show here in a moment. So I'm probably going to shorten this, but it could be, this length would be however you really what you want. If it's, to a certain point, it's going to be a staff, which is basically its counterpart in coven work. I mean, you can have a staff if you're a solid practitioner, but it's really up to you. This is my wand. Yet another wand I found just laying on the ground of an ex's house in the backyard. I painted this handle here. I had to wait for it to dry, but it was a little curved at the time, and I didn't like the curve, so I tried to fix it. I whitened the wood and bending it slowly. Well, I broke it. I fixed it by gluing it back together, but I painted this higher so you know what, I held it. This is a little crystal in the bottom I glued here. And the top, see, this is super glued. This I tried to super glue but it wouldn't stay on, so I don't know if you can tell, but this is hot glue here. That is used to help hold it on. I know a roommate of mine helped me with that, but I like my wand just the way it is. So. Wands can be used for circle casting. I use mine for circle casting. I use my Athlemated in my circles. Another wand I may add is see, as I was talking about wands made of metals and stuff, ones you can buy. This one's made of copper with a crystal at the end and a crystal at the top. This is a very neat wand. I really do like it. This was actually a friend of mine's. She had it, and I believe it was the Coven's wand, but it kept breaking. I told her if it breaks one more time, I'm going to keep it, because I kept having to repair it. It broke again, thus I got it now. I fixed it, and it hasn't broken since I've had it. So, that says something. But I really do like this wand. I keep it in this little box. I think it's silver, but it's really heavy either way. But wands, as I said, they can be made of many things. I mean, they can be made of crystal, they can be made of copper, metals, they can be made of wood, which is the most common one, usually decorated with crystals, or stones. Like my friend's, Eric's, is, I would say, about yay long. It's about here, I think, if I remember right. And it's got like a Y at the end, you know, that separates. He took a giant piece of citrite, I do believe it was, and stuck it right there, and thus the stone was wand. And he decorated it with runes, which actually is a pretty nice wand, I have to admit. Grant, we had to eventually glue the stone in, because every time he adjusted with it too much, the stone would come flying out and hit people. That's happened a couple times. And my cousin, his wand is, I would have to say his is more of a rod, because basically it was like this. It was wand, rod, staff. A wand is, well, see, this would actually technically be a rod, I'd have to say, because it's from about shoulder to my wrist. That would be a rod. This would be a wand, which is from my shoulder to my elbow. A little past my elbow, but to my elbow. See, this is a wand too, even though it was really small, but this would be considered about a rod size. About the size of a twirling baton. A staff is much larger, usually that can go from the ground and come up to your shoulders or past. That's usually about a staff size. But his is more of a, as I said, a rod. That it's a little longer than this, straighter, of course. Anyway, and he has used painter's tape as the handle. And there was a split in the end where he just shoved a stone in, which we glued in because it kept flinging out also, because he liked to try to fling it around like it was a sword. He's an oddball, but anyway. Besides that point, what was I? Oh, yes, but, and in our coven, we always used our wands to cast circles. It was just, it was the way I learned it and the way I taught them, because, well, I taught them. But, let's see, what else? Wands. Like all tools, you're really not supposed to let other people use your wands, but past it, with the wands can be transferred. Some teachers transfer their wands to their students, so that's how some do. It's really just the preference of however it goes. I mean, if you have an actual teacher, sometimes they will do that. So, I mean, mine came from a coven. Then again, we kind of became enemies afterwards, but I still like this wand. I mean, when it comes to bot wands, I mean, this wand really feels good in my hand. I mean, I really like this wand. I can't explain why I like it so much, but I really do like it. It just fits in my hand so nicely. But I still love my old wand. It was kind of an undertaking to make it, but believe me, it was fun. That's one of the reasons I'm going to finish this and make another one. That's because I enjoyed doing it. When it comes to making a wand, as I said before about how to get it off the tree, you can leave the bark on and off. It's however you wish. I prefer bark off. Usually, I would let it dry afterwards. If it wasn't dry prior, let it dry a little bit afterwards. I mean, this wasn't dry when she found it. She let it dry a couple days on the porch, a back covered porch. And then once it dried, she shaved it. It still needs a bit more shaving. When you shave it, don't use a serrated blade. One, it will dull the knife greatly. And two, it just will not work. I mean, it will slightly work, but because it's serrated, it will get stuck in the wood a lot. Believe me, when I first tried making a wand, a serrated steak knife did nothing. I ended up using a butter knife because it has a flat blade. So if you're going to use a knife, use a flat blade. I have another knife which I use now. It was actually an electrician's knife. It has no serrated blade. It's flat, so it works best for cutting it. Kind of dulls the blade, but as long as you have a sharpener, it doesn't matter because that's all the knife I use this knife for. So, oh, what else? Then decoration. You can decorate however you want. As I said, my friend used runes. I'm particular crystals. I love crystals on my wands. Let's see. The wine fell over. Well, ribbons, I've seen some people do. It's really however you want. And, I mean, it could be as plain or as elaborate or as pretty as you want. If you get ones made out of crystal and stones, however, be careful. They can break. Just because it's a stone of some sort does not mean it's not breakable. And crystal ones, if they break, it's just not good anymore. Anything like that, they're just not good anymore because, well, the energy is broken. Plus, be careful with those. They're very sharp. Crystal splinters are horrible. Believe me. That's about all I got on the subject of wands. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, goodbye.